Today, we're breaking down one of the most powerful strategies used by 6- and 7-figure business owners to unlock $50,000 to $100,000 plus in business funding without using a Social Security number. This strategy is called the 3-bank rule. It's not just a hack. It's a system that positions you for real EIN-only credit approvals, gives you instant credibility with lenders, and lays the foundation to scale fast. So if you're tired of getting denied, tired of mixing personal and business funds, tired of using your personal credit to run your business, or if you're just getting started and want to do it the right way from day one, this video is for you. Most business owners never hear about this, but once you understand it, you can separate yourself from 90% of small business applicants because you're no longer begging for funding. You're structuring your business to attract it. By the end of the video, you'll know what the 3-bank rule is, why it works, even for brand new LLCs, how to set it up properly, and how to use it to unlock 5-figure limits with your EIN. We'll even go over common mistakes, lender scoring systems, and a full game plan to scale your credit lines without a single personal guarantee. Let's dive in. What is the 3-bank rule? So let's break down what the 3-bank rule actually is and why it's so powerful when you're trying to build business credit from scratch. The concept is simple on the surface, but strategic under the hood. The 3-bank rule means this: you open 3 separate business checking accounts at 3 different banks, ideally within the same week. Why? Because when you do this, you immediately signal to the funding world that you are diversified, serious, and credible. Here's what most new business owners do. They form an LLC, open 1 business checking account, let it sit, and then wonder why they keep getting denied when applying for business credit. That single account gives you zero leverage. It creates no movement, no history, and no institutional trust. But when you follow the 3-bank rule, you build early transactional data with 3 institutions, create internal records at multiple banks, get triple the exposure to potential underwriters, and you put yourself on the radar of lenders who offer EIN-only credit. And here's something most people don't realize. Banks talk to each other, not in some conspiracy theory way, but through data vendors, fraud monitoring tools, and credit bureaus that track business-level activity across accounts. So when your business pops up on multiple radar systems, you don't look like a new LLC trying to get lucky. You look like a business that's organized, active, and worthy of funding. Let's go deeper. Each bank has its own internal risk score system. You don't see it, but it's there. It measures how often you deposit, whether you overdraft, if your EIN is linked to prior accounts, and how long you've maintained the relationship. The 3-bank rule accelerates your business credit trust curve. Instead of waiting 6 months with 1 lonely account, you're building institutional trust across 3 entities at once. Think of it as planting 3 trees. One might grow slow, one might get denied, but one could explode. And when it does, that's where you scale. Why the 3-bank rule works. Now let's talk about the psychology behind the 3-bank rule, because it's not just about opening accounts. It's about positioning your business the way lenders want to see it, even before you apply. Here's what you need to know. Lenders do not trust new LLCs, not at first. There are too many shell companies, too many people gaming the system, and too many businesses that open and shut down within a year. So when you're brand new, every little signal matters. And this strategy sends all the right ones. Think about what the average application looks like to a bank. A single member LLC, no cash flow, 1 lonely checking account, a brand new EIN, no trade lines, and a home address tied to the business. It screams high risk. But when you show up with 3 active bank relationships, consistent deposits across accounts, a matching EIN and business name, clean digital presence, domain, email, phone, and internal activity tied to your business entity, you jump the line. That's what the 3-bank rule really does. It removes doubt. It creates what underwriters call a stability profile. They can't Google your revenue, they can't verify years of experience, but they can see movement, and movement builds trust. Here's what movement looks like from a lender's point of view. Weekly deposits, no overdrafts, separate vendor payments, regular transfers between accounts, increasing average daily balances, statements showing organized cash flow. Even if you're starting with small numbers, this activity tells a story. It tells them this business may be new, but they're operating like they've done this before. That's the difference between getting denied and getting $15,000 on your first business credit card, tied to your EIN only. One more thing to keep in mind, lenders prioritize internal applicants. If you already bank with them, they're more likely to approve you. That's why spreading your accounts across multiple banks gives you multiple paths to approval, not just one. And when it's time to apply, you'll be applying from a position of power, not desperation. Let's move on to the biggest mistakes people make when trying this, because if you do it wrong, you'll sabotage the entire strategy before it even starts. Banking mistakes that kill your approvals. Now let's talk about where people mess this up. Because the 3-bank rule works, but only if you do it right. And I've seen way too many people sabotage their business credit journey without even realizing it. Let's go through the top mistakes that kill approvals before you ever apply. Mistake 1. Opening only one account and letting it sit. This defeats the entire strategy. A single account with no activity tells lenders, "I'm not serious. I'm just here to try my luck." Instead, you need multiple accounts with movement. That means weekly or biweekly deposits, paying vendors software or subscriptions from those accounts, moving money between banks to show liquidity. Lenders don't just want to see a balance, they want to see behavior. Mistake number 2, using personal info on business accounts. If you open up a business account but list your personal phone number, a Gmail or Yahoo address, your home address as your business, or skip your EIN, you're sending mixed signals. It might still technically be a business account, but you're not showing up as a business. Make sure you use a professional business email, like info@yourbrand.com, a business phone number, use tools like Google Voice or Grasshopper, a real business address, even if it's virtual, and always link your EIN, not just your social security number. Mistake number 3, opening all accounts at the same type of bank. This one's subtle but dangerous. If you open up all 3 accounts at major national banks like Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo, you're limiting your exposure. Instead, follow the rule of bank diversification. One major bank like Chase or Bank of America, one regional or local bank like US Bank or KeyBank, one online bank or fintech like Bluevine, Mercury, or Relay. This spreads your activity across different internal systems and gives you more routes to EIN-only approvals. Mistake number 4, overdrafts, negative balances, and fees. Banks track everything. If you're racking up overdraft fees, bouncing payments, or letting balances drop too low, it sends a red flag to underwriters. Keep your accounts positive, active, and clean. If your balance dips below $100, move funds temporarily or pause spending. Mistake number 5, applying for credit too soon. Don't open your accounts and apply for a credit card the same week. Give your banks at least 60 to 90 days of activity to work with. During that time, build history, show consistent deposits, let your EIN establish a digital footprint, and let the internal scoring systems gather enough data to flag you as low risk. Final thought. Think of the 3-bank rule like prepping for an audition. You don't walk in unprepared and hope they like your vibe. You show up sharp, organized, and with receipts. That's what your banking setup needs to reflect. Proof that you're a real business ready for real funding. How to set up the 3-bank rule the right way. Let's walk through exactly how to set up the 3-bank rule from start to finish. Because when you do this right, you create a foundation that gets stronger month after month and opens the door to EIN-only credit approvals without ever touching your personal score. Step 1, form your business identity first. Before you even touch a bank, make sure your business identity is airtight. LLC or corporation registered in your state, EIN issued from the IRS, business phone number and email, business mailing address, basic domain registered. These 5 elements should match exactly when you open your accounts. Lenders check for consistency. Step 2, pick 3 banks strategically. We're not doing this randomly. You need diversity. Here's the ideal structure. Bank 1, major bank, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Bank 2, regional bank or credit union, PNC, US Bank, Truist, or a strong local bank in your area. Bank 3, online bank or fintech, Bluevine, Relay, Mercury, North One, or Novo. Why this mix? Because each type has different internal scoring systems and credit products. Some fintechs offer business credit based on activity, not credit pulls. Some regionals offer soft pull approvals if you have existing accounts. And major banks have the strongest corporate card networks, but often the hardest approval thresholds. Covering all 3 categories triples your leverage. Step 3, open all accounts within 1 to 7 days. This isn't a long-term rollout. We want to trigger your business identity across the system at the same time. Use your EIN, matching business address, professional contact info, and upload your operating agreement of articles of organization if needed. Pro tip, when you open accounts in person, show up with printed documents and a branded business card if you have one. For online banks, have your PDF files ready to upload in one session. Step 4, fund each account with $100 to $500 minimum. You don't need to load them up with thousands. You just need to activate them with real deposits. If possible, deposit $250 to $500 in the major bank, $100 to $250 in the regional, $100 to $200 in the online account. The goal is to get activity flowing, not idle balances. Step 5, start using the accounts immediately. This is where most people fail. They set up the accounts, then walk away for a month. Wrong move. Start using them. Pay your phone bill, subscriptions, website fees, route client payments through one, move funds between banks to stimulate cash flow, pay yourself a small salary, even if it's just $50 per week. This movement tells the banks, I'm operating, I'm real, I'm stable. Final thought on the setup. You don't need years of history to get business credit. You just need to look like a business that belongs in the system. And this setup, done right, puts you there in 7 days or less. Case studies from $0 to $75,000 using the 3-bank rule. Let's talk about what this looks like in the real world. Because theory is great, but results are what matter. So here are 2 real case studies from entrepreneurs who used the 3-bank rule and unlocked tens of thousands in business credit tied only to their EIN. Case study 1, the creative consultant. Angela was a brand designer in Atlanta. She formed her LLC in early 2024, but had no business credit and was tired of maxing out her personal cards. Here's what she did. Opened business accounts with Chase, US Bank, and Bluevine, all in 1 week. Funded each with $300. Routed all her client payments through Bluevine. Paid her software subscriptions from US Bank and transferred small amounts weekly between the 3 accounts to build movement. She didn't apply for credit until month 3. At that point, she applied for the Amex Business Cash Card, got approved for $10,000 with no PG, then got a US Bank Business Triple Cash Card with a soft pull approved for $8,500. By month 6, she was approved for Ramp and Divvy, 2 no PG fintech cards, and used NAV to track her business credit score, which had already reached 79 by month 8. Total credit lines, over $32,000, with 0 impact on her personal credit report. Case study 2, the solo real estate investor. Marcus was a part-time investor in Houston trying to renovate rental properties. He had decent credit, but didn't want to use personal cards for contractors or materials. He heard about the 3-bank rule from a podcast and decided to go all in. Here's what he did. Opened accounts with Wells Fargo, Truist, and Relay. Use Relay to pay all vendor invoices. Kept $1,000 in Wells Fargo and moved $200 to $400 between other accounts each month. Built a business PayPal and Stripe account and tied them to his Truist checking. After 60 days, he applied for a Truist business credit card, approved for $7,000. Wells Fargo Business Platinum, $10,000. Then added Capital on Tap and Brex, both with no PG, and finally used his internal history at Relay to get a $25,000 business line of credit. His total credit lines after 5 months, $75,500. No personal guarantee, no tax returns, no job history. Just a smart setup and the 3-bank rule executed properly. Final thought on this section. These aren't unicorns. They're just everyday business owners who played the game right. You don't need to be rich, you just need a system and the patience to let that system work. Let's break down how these lenders actually score your account activity and what you can do to trigger their internal approval algorithms. How banks internally score your business and trigger approvals. Here's where most people get it wrong when they talk about business credit. They think it's all about your DUNS number, or whether you're listed on NAV, or whether you've added 5 trade lines to your Paydex profile. But that's only half the equation. The real action? It happens inside the banks, and it's all about your internal business banking score. Every major bank assigns your business a risk score, and you'll never see it. It's built from internal algorithms based on how you use your account. They track how often you deposit, what types of deposits they are, how many vendors you pay, if you ever overdraft, if your account is linked to Stripe, PayPal, or a merchant processor, how long you've had the account, and what your average daily balance is over time. This invisible score is what determines whether you get flagged for internal credit offers, get soft pull pre-approvals, or get ghosted altogether. Why does this matter? Because when you follow the 3-bank rule and build healthy activity across 3 institutions, you triple your chances of getting on a bank's internal approval list. You spread your risk, and you give yourself multiple routes to credit, even if one bank turns cold. You're no longer depending on one gatekeeper. Let's look at a typical internal credit trigger. You've had an account for 90 days, you've deposited $1,500 to $2,000 per month, you haven't overdrafted. You've linked the account to a merchant processor, you've paid a few vendors or subscriptions, and you maintain a $500 plus average daily balance. That's enough for many fintechs and banks to soft pull your EIN, run your internal score, and extend a pre-approval offer for a $5,000 to $15,000 business credit card with no PG required, even if your personal credit isn't perfect. This is why movement matters more than money. How to check if you're being scored. You won't get a notification, but here are some signs. You receive emails from your bank offering business products. You see your pre-qualified banners inside your online banking dashboard. Or you get physical mail for new business funding programs with your LLC name on it. If you see any of these, it means your internal file is alive and now is the time to strike. Final tip for boosting internal scores. Set recurring payments like your Canva, subscription, Google Workspace, or QuickBooks to autopay from one of your business accounts. Then move small amounts between the others every 7 to 10 days. The goal isn't to show off, it's to show consistency, because banks aren't just watching what you make, they're watching how you operate. And when your business looks stable, real, and revenue ready, approvals follow. Stacking business trade lines for EIN-only approvals. All right, so you've got your 3 business accounts open, you've built activity, you've triggered internal scoring systems. Now it's time to stack trade lines that report directly to the business credit bureaus. This is how you turn your structure into actual funding power and unlock approvals using your EIN only. Let's walk through how to do it step by step. Step 1, monitor your business credit with NAV. NAV is your business credit hub. Think of it like Credit Karma, but for your EIN. With a free account, you can track your Experian Biz, Equifax Biz, and D&B Paydex scores. Monitor which trade lines are reporting, See funding offers based on your file, and even unlock soft pull funding matches. Pro tip: upgrade to NAV's paid plan, and they'll report a trade line to your credit profile automatically, giving you instant activity. Step 2: add easy approval trade lines that actually report. Here are 3 beginner-friendly trade lines you can use to boost your business credit score fast. Credit Strong Business reports a financial trade line to Equifax and PayNet, great for boosting lender trust. Can be opened with no revenue and low payments. Credible Business Lift links your utility and phone bills and reports them as trade lines. Reports to multiple bureaus, especially powerful if you have recurring expenses you're already paying. Uline Quill Summa Office Supplies. These are 30 net vendor accounts. They give you small credit lines like $500 to $1,000. Pay your invoice within 30 days and they report as positive payment history. Do this for 2 to 3 months and you'll build a strong paydex score, often in the 80s. Step 3. Use fintech cards that report with no PG. Now that your EIN has activity, you can apply for funding cards that don't ask for your social security number. These include Divvy, reports to multiple bureaus, offers charge card flexibility. Ramp, used by startups and small businesses with no PG. Brex, ideal for digital entrepreneurs and companies with online revenue. Capital on Tap, offers high limits and reports to Experian Biz. Tilful Credit Builder, adds history while boosting your internal profile. The trick is, apply only once your business credit report shows 3 to 5 active trade lines and your business checking accounts are at least 90 days old. That's the magic window where lenders go from skeptical to saying this business is ready. Final tip for stacking safely: space out your applications. Don't try to grab 5 trade lines in 1 week. Build slowly, strategically, and based on your real cash flow. Remember, the goal isn't just to get approved, it's to build a foundation that lasts. Let's wrap this up by talking about how to scale the system into $100,000 plus in total approvals without ever over-leveraging yourself or risking your personal credit. Let's talk about what happens after you've got the foundation in place. You've opened 3 accounts, you've built internal banking data, you've added trade lines and fintech cards. Now it's time to scale. Because if you follow the right timeline and credit stacking strategy, you can build to $100,000 or more in business credit within your first 6 to 12 months. Let's break it down. Phase 1, Foundation, months 1 through 3. This is where you open 3 bank accounts, fund and activate all 3. Add NAV, Credit Strong, and at least 1 net 30 trade line. Use your business checking accounts consistently. Avoid overdrafts, missed payments, or inactivity. The goal here is to create movement and report positive behavior across all systems. Phase 2, Expansion, months 3 through 6. Now your internal scores and credit profiles are active. You're ready to start applying for EIN-only credit lines. Here's the order: fintech cards, Divvy, Ramp, Brex. Soft pull business cards, US Bank, Capital on Tap. Store cards that report, Amazon Biz, Lowe's Biz Advantage. Business lines of credit through your fintech or regional bank. Start requesting credit limit increases every 90 days. Many lenders will bump you automatically if you've been active and on time. Phase 3, Leverage, months 6 through 12. Now it's time to consolidate your data, track your approvals, map out which lenders reported and which didn't. Start planning how to use your credit strategically, not just collect it. Use business credit for marketing campaigns, equipment, staging for real estate, high-ticket coaching or masterminds, or short-term inventory flips. Avoid long-term debt with high interest, mixing personal spending with business funds, or using credit to float operations you can't afford. Credit is leverage, not a lifeline. How fast can you reach $100,000? If you stack correctly, here's a common 12-month trajectory. Month 3, $20,000 to $30,000 in fintech and soft pull cards. Month 6, $50,000 plus across 6 to 8 accounts. Month 9, credit limit increases plus new lines bringing you to $80,000. Month 12, $100,000 plus across fintech, bank cards, and a small LLC, all while protecting your personal credit the entire time. That's the power of a system. Final word before we wrap up. This is not theory. Thousands of entrepreneurs are using this strategy right now, and it's completely legal, scalable, and repeatable. If you want real leverage, real approvals, and real funding, you start by building the right structure. And that starts with 3 banks, 1 identity, 1 EIN, and a plan to scale. Let's wrap up with your final action plan, your checklist to implement this starting today. Because information without action is just noise. So here's a 10-step checklist to implement the 3-bank rule and start building real business credit today. Your action plan. Form your LLC, get your EIN from the IRS, set up your business address, email, and phone, register a domain for your business, open 3 business checking accounts at 3 different types of banks, fund each account with $100 to $500, start using all 3 accounts weekly, deposits, vendor payments, movement, sign up for NAV and Credit Strong or eCredible, layer on net 30 vendors and apply for fintech cards in month 3. Track your activity, avoid overdrafts, and request credit limit increases every 90 days. That's it. That's the exact system 6-figure entrepreneurs use to go from $0 to $100,000 plus in EIN-only credit without ever putting their personal credit on the line. If you found this valuable, drop a comment below and type 3bank ready so I know you're in. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on alerts because in the next video, I'm showing you how to build $250,000 in funding using this exact structure, plus business revenue and a few powerful hacks. Thanks for watching. You're not just running a business, you're building a funding empire. Let's go.